Vegetables are a social construct. Vegetables scientifically don't exist in the same way that fish don't really exist. And by social construct, it's the same way that kind of everything is a social construct. It's a culinary concept. Vegetables only exist in the context of food. In the context of biology, vegetables just are not a thing. Now, the dictionary definition of vegetable is a part of a plant that is just edible and used for food. And that definition technically encompasses fruits, too, which are generally thought to be distinct from vegetables in a cultural and culinary setting. Now, fruit also is somewhat of a social construct itself. Fruit is generally defined as being an edible part of the plant that is typically sweet, as opposed to savory or otherwise that is found in vegetables. However, unlike vegetable, fruit does have a, scientific definition, being a ripened plant ovary that is used to spread the seeds of said plant and make more plants. That is what a fruit does. Now, fruit and vegetable are not mutually exclusive, as we all very well know with the whole "what the fuck is a tomato" thing. But just vegetables as a whole are just weird to classify, because vegetables pretty much can come from any and all part of the plant. For example, root vegetables like carrots, they are the roots of the plant. They're used to obtain moisture from the ground as well as store nutrients. That is the function of a root, and thus the function of root vegetables such as carrots and turnips and all of those. But despite the fact that they are a culinary vegetable, their main purpose for the plant is to act as a root. It's not for us to eat or anything. And then we have the leafy vegetables, which are, again, just leaves like you see on a tree. They include things like lettuce and kale or Brussels sprouts. Those are all leaves. They're green, they do photosynthesis, and that is their main function, to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen, make energy for the plant. That is what they do. And then we have the stem vegetables like celery or asparagus, and those do things that stems do. They are mainly there for transport of nutrients such as glucose or water. It just moves things. It moves water up from the roots to the leaves, and it moves glucose from the leaves to the roots. It's just there for transport. But we also have some weirder stem plants, like the onion. The onion is just a modified stem. Onion and garlic and things like that are bulbs, which is, again, technically just a modified stem. But unlike stems in plants such as celery, the bulb is there mainly for excess food storage. So instead of having super large roots for nutrient storage like carrots, they have a enlarged stem, which makes up the bulb structure for, again, energy storage. So yeah, onions are technically stem, and also a little bit leaves. And we have our fruit vegetables such as tomatoes or many gourds like pumpkins and squash that are ovaries. They are plant ovaries. Their entire function is to grow and protect the seeds, which they then spread around to make more tomatoes, more pumpkins, more whatever. This is just entirely a reproductive structure. Then, similarly, we have the vegetables that are actually flowers, such as the florets on broccoli and cauliflower. Those are flowers. They're there entirely for sexual reproduction, to make more plants. They deal with the pollen, with the other gametes used in plant reproduction. That is what they're there for. Also, since vegetables come from many different parts of the plant, a lot of them are a lot closer related genetically than many people realize. This plant up here is Brassica oleracea, and it is really the goat of producing different types of vegetables. The kind of feral wild type of this plant is called the wild cabbage, but what stems from this one single plant is a bunch of different, culinary vegetables. This plant, through different cultivation methods, produces things like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, kohlrabi, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. All of those different distinct vegetables stem from this one single plant that's just grown and harvested in different ways using different methods. So really, while the term vegetable does have its uses culinarily, as a scientific term, vegetable is just real kind of bullshit.